And if you don't know Sammy yet, Sammy is a discovery coach and an AI specialist, and he has a lot of great ideas, including ideas is his framework, and he'll explain a little bit more about that. But what that stands for is identity, direction, execution, authenticity, and selves. So Sammy's discovery coach, but we bring him here today not only because of his skills as a coach, but the fact that he is an AI specialist and learning and continuing to learn about that every day. And he's going to share with us some insights. So connect with Sammy. His link is there in his bio. So I'm going to pass this over to Sam. Welcome, Sam.
Thank you so much for having me again. It's amazing that this is the third session already. So yeah, let's dive into it. Today, we were going to cover a specific case study, and we're actually using Desmond Jordan, the old Desmond, as the test subject today. So I can begin to share my screen here. I'll just go into the presentation here. So it says 30-minute lead magnet challenge. You can actually do it in a much quicker fashion than that. And so most founders lack a proper funnel system. So they have no lead magnet, there's no email capture, and there's no clear call to action. So you're missing out on tons of business opportunities there. Now, what we can do today, and what I'm going to show you how to do, is how to generate a consultancy report. I showed you how to do that last time, but I think it's important to revisit these steps. Build a lead magnet, so transform the report into a valuable one-page checklist, and then create email capture. So emails is still what I believe to be one of the most effective marketing tools with regards to collecting emails, and you can sell directly to people. But you don't just want to collect emails for email's sake. You want to be able to provide value up front as well. So step number one is the consultancy report. And so what we can do, and I'll kind of just run through this presentation and then I'll do a live demonstration afterwards. So the magic prompt is act as a senior consultant, analyze this website. So we have Desmond's website here, resurgoconsulting.ca, and provide a brand scan, client, pain points, value ladder, and positioning summary. And again, I'll show you how to do all of this in ChatGPT. There's different models to use just to go with deep research. I have pre-done it ahead of time just to kind of help save us a little bit of time. However, it is valuable to have access to just knowing how to do it. So, and then step two, so based on the information that we have collected from that consultancy summary, we can create a lead magnet. And very simply, you can just paste into a Google Doc format, ready to share, or however you'd like to have it. You can put it on your website. There's many different ways that you could go about creating the lead magnet itself. And then, of course, we have the funnel activation. So visitor enters their email, they get the checklist sent, or they get the lead magnet sent, and then you have the lead capture, you have their email, and from there, you're kind of in with all of the clients. So Desmond's funnel, before I'll go into his website, it's this one here. There he is. There's the handsome young man. So through using this website, what we can do is we can click Command L, and then we can click Command C to copy it in our top up here. And you can see Desmond's website. You can see all of the common challenges that he faces. And so if we go into ChatGPT and we go into advanced reasoning, what we can do is create a high level consultancy summary of Desmond Jordan's company. And if we click on tools, or sorry, if we click, let's see, run deep research. Again, we did this last time. So what this will do is it asks us a few confirming questions. Target audience. So I will say young entrepreneurs, or sorry, new entrepreneurs. That's right, Desmond, new entrepreneurs. Then we have lead magnet, creation afterwards. And if I'm going too fast, please let me know. Formal. So yeah, so what it will do now is it'll take a bit of time to do the research. And I showed you this last time, but I think it's an important step to hone in on. Now, what we can do, this is just to show you how to do it. I'll open up my Google Drive here. So this is what it had come up with yesterday. So it had a great summary of Desmond's company, Resurgo Consulting. As you can see, it provided a ton of detail as to the brand scan. So it had the tone, the value proposition, target clients, the current messaging, the positioning breakdown, and it does all of this. It takes maybe 10 minutes to do this. You can see it's kind of working away here, creating different summaries of different links. And so if you're following along and you wanted to do this yourself, you can prompt it by using ChatGPT o3 and just, as I had put here, create a high level consultancy summary of Desmond Jordan's company. And it'll take your company, it'll map it out, and it'll do research with valid research. It'll show you what it does, and it's just a very valuable tool that you can use to get more clarity around your business. So now what we can do, because I've taken what it created, put it into a Google Doc, is we can go File. We can download as a Word document. And then I'll just enter a new chat here. So I'll just go new chat. I'll switch it back to 4.0. I find 03 is good for advanced reasoning. 04 mini and 04 mini high. I haven't done too much in there, but I don't know if there's many coders on the call, so it's one that I have kind of steered clear of myself. But I tend to just use, and most of you would just use ChatGPT 4-0. So what we can do now, and I'll revisit this just to see what the prompt was that we had pre-created. So based on the consultancy report above, create a one-page checklist titled 7 profit leaks that are draining your business. So what we can do is go back into here. We have this prompt. I'll click up here. If you have a different computer than a Mac, you might have different download areas, but you can come here, drag it in here, and this is how easy it is. So based on this, it now has a lead generation that you can use for email exchange. So again, this is what I had just created now, but I had one pre-made. So we'll go back to that other one here. Here we are. So this is the Google Doc that we have. And this is what you can have. What you want to do with your lead generation is you want to have it be obviously something that provides value to your client. So if you look through what it had created, we can just kind of take a scan through this. Now, is there any questions so far?
I'll add one. It's probably similar to the one I asked last time. So it was important that you move the outputs out of version 03 and put it into version 04. Why again? Why was it important that you went into the other version?
Yeah, great question. So this one is great for most tasks. So 03 uses advanced reasoning. It's advanced thinking. I'll just go into the other chat we had here, consultancy summary requests. So this one, it has access to deep research, and you can see that down here. So it takes a little bit longer and it reasons a little bit more, whereas ChatGPT 4.0 is just meant for most tasks. So it's not as deep in its research. It's more for basic things like everyday use, essentially. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Great. All right. So what we have done, so we have this that it had created. And so 7 profit leaks that are draining your business, a checklist for small business owners who want to stop the financial bleeding and grow with clarity. So this is based on how Desmond's company helps. It helps with companies that are exiting. It helps with companies that are trying to turn a profit. It created this super simple profit leak checklist. And then it says if you check 3 or more of these, there's a high chance your business is leaking profits or leaving growth on the table. The good news, most of these issues are fixable with a fresh perspective and a few strategic adjustments. So what we want to do with this is we want to have people reach out and create leads. And the simplicity of ChatGPT is if you don't like this lead generation, like you could totally create a different one. So what we can do again is go here. We'll go back into our other chat. And then we'll be like, this was a good start, but can you provide me with multiple other lead magnets so that I can reference the best ones for client acquisition? So again, very quickly it creates this, and a lot of people don't have different lead magnets and different things like that because it's just something that we all know we should have these assets, but we don't actually create them. But having these lead magnets is so important just for generating more business, generating more wealth, all of this sort of stuff. So, Desmond, as we flip through these and we actually take one of these lead magnets and make it relevant to you, which one of these is most valuable to your company, would you say? We have the Founder Freedom Mythbuster Guide, Business Exit Readiness Scorecard, the Profit and Cash Flow Booster Toolkit, Business Health Check, and then the 90-day Business Reset email series.
I think the answer is it would depend, obviously, in each situation. So you're asking me to pick one?
Yeah, I was just curious, like if we were to go through all of these, which one is most valuable to your business so that we can implement.
No, when you say my business or am I presenting this to a client?
Yeah, like you're using this as a lead magnet for Resurgo Consulting.
Yeah, let's just take number 5. They're all good, actually. And just a clarification for everyone, Sam and I had chats roughly what might be possible, and I left it to him to go ahead. Now, there was some stuff in my email. I actually made me look and see that my contact page is not easily visible. So there was a few things that I already learned by going through the process. But in terms of this, it's something one would go back and maybe tighten up a little bit for specifics, but it's actually extremely good. Let's call it 80% bang on. So Sam, we'll take number 5, if that's okay.
Take number 5? Yeah. And this was, again, just ideation. So we do have the other one created, but let's just see what this comes up with. So let's roll with number 5. And now something that I haven't gone too deep into is there is plenty of AI bots and agents and that sort of stuff. And this would require more research on my end that can actually automate this email process for you. So if people sign up for this email stuff, like I know for me specifically, there's a guy named Tom Noski, I think I believe his name is on Instagram. And he has like a 33 email listing that you can sign up for, and it provides a ton of value up front just on how to build your personal brand. And so what you can do with ChatGPT is you can create all of these emails that then you can then schedule to go out live. Now, what we had also done, and what I had sent to Desmond ahead of time, is there was let me find it here. like a Google form that was meant to collect email addresses. So let's see if I can find that. Oh, yes. So what I had done and created was I had taken the get the 7 silent profit leak checklist. So this is what we had with Desmond before. And let me just share this here. So when I put this in the chat and you click into it and you add your email address, it will send you. So I'll just put my other email. So sampaley79@gmail.com. So because I put my email in, I now will have a place where that email will be collected and I can now email my clients. So it's a good way to get warm leads. You can click this and it takes you directly to the 7 silent profit leaks that are draining your business. So this is what we had created beforehand. And this is great for a lead generation that can help create more business. Now, to take this a step further, if you want to have people obviously get into your contacts and get into your business, what we can now do in ChatGPT is based on, let me just find it here. Okay. So based on this, I would like to create 5 different LinkedIn posts. Please ensure we use Desmond's brand voice. So then what we can do is we can take obviously all of these and we can schedule them on LinkedIn to go live later. And yeah, from there we can go through LinkedIn, we can post these things, and it shows just how quickly and easily you can create different case studies based on LinkedIn, based on different emails, different ad generations, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it creates all of these. And if you don't like the brand voice, what we can again do is we can go to resurgoconsulting.ca and we can copy this link and we can say, could you base this voice off of the brand presence of because what I had talked about in past presentations is if you're not specific with how you want the voice to be, the voice in ChatGPT will go back to its default kind of AI sounding settings. Whereas if you use a more specific catered tone, you can create more value up front. So, or you can create more of a consistency in the voice that you're using that aligns more with your brand voice. So most owners I meet are failing. They're just leaking, margin shrink, burnout creeps in, blah, blah, blah. You can see how it sounds like Desmond versus a more generic creation. And so it's just important that we don't want it to just sound like AI and it be clearly written with ChatGPT. Although I think most stuff you read online is probably written by AI. But yeah, is there any questions at all with regards to what we've covered from the lead generation magnet and to the Google Forms? And
I'll ask one quickly. With the brand voice, you showed us how to add it to a specific chat or to a specific project. Is there a way if somebody wanted their entire ChatGPT to use a specific brand voice, how would we maintain that so that with every new chat it recognizes that? Do we have to feed it every time?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so what I can show you here is, let's see, if you click into your settings in the top right, so up here, and you go to personalize, what you can then put is, so I have one that's very catered specifically to a different philosophy I'm working on. And what you can do is put in anything that you want. So what traits should ChatGPT have? Anything else ChatGPT should know about you? And by having these sorts of like witty, chatty, encouraging, by having these sorts of traits, it will have your brand voice be more catered to what you want. And so every chat that you have will be based upon this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's actually fantastic. I had no idea. Thank you.
Yeah, totally. And so what you can also do is you can go into, that was one method, but let's say you know you're going to have lots of these different things. So we can click new project. We can go Resurgo Consulting. And then all of the projects that are in here. So you actually can't do projects on your phone. I've realized it's only on desktop at the moment. I think they'll eventually add that. But this is what I had covered last time as well. So what I just showed you was in here. You had the personalization of everything. So this is again where we are. But you can have it specifically in here. And so if you add instructions, what I would do instead of what I try to get people to learn is that, like, if you're typing all of this stuff, you're likely wasting your time. So what I would do instead is I would prompt it in here and say, I would like you to add specific instructions for how to build out the Resurgo Consulting lead magnet / online presence. This will be based upon this website. Again, we go here, copy paste.
So to paraphrase, you're getting it to tell you how it wants you to explain it, the tone to it.
Exactly, yeah. And so
Okay, cool.
what I would say is I actually, it kind of misunderstood what I meant. I actually want to create the instructions for this project. Can you please write that out so we have maximum clarity around future chats in this project. So if all else fails and it's not, again, really understanding my recommendation, what I would do is I would go back into here. I would click here. What you can do is take a screenshot. ChatGPT works very well and very seamlessly with screenshots, PDFs, documents. And you could take this. You could go in here and be like, this is what I'm referring to. There we go. So what you would now do is you would take this, you would copy it, you would go back into here, add instructions, And to your earlier question, Dorothy, now every project within this chat will be catered specifically to these instructions. So it still has access to the personalization settings that you have, but the instructions will kind of overrule that because these are specific to these projects. What I continually hone in on with everything that I talk about with ChatGPT is just the power of using it. And if you wonder if ChatGPT can do it, the answer is either not yet or yes. And it's such a powerful tool, not just ChatGPT, but AI in general. I've been focusing my efforts on ChatGPT specifically because I want to go narrow and deep into one and kind of master the one rather than kind of be diluted across many different ones. So I've said this many times, but one of my favorite things to do is to use on your phone. If you open your phone and use ChatGPT, there's a little microphone you can click and you can literally just talk to ChatGPT. What I'm driving at is it can do anything you want it to do, and it will always just meet you where you're at. And as I still explore this more and more and more, I'm getting more into like the automation of things and the actual business use rather than the personal use. And it's really fun and just to play around with. My general belief with AI is it's here. It's whether you like it or not. And I believe that those who use AI and ChatGPT will be the ones who not get ahead, but there's more opportunity with those who can find kind of so much of our time is wasted on automated tasks or on tasks that could be automated through ChatGPT or even the one pager that we took to write with Desmond. You saw how quickly it did it. Many people would spend all day trying to write a one pager and it just wouldn't really there's just better uses of your time. Yeah, it's an interesting time for society in terms of like the knowledge that we have, and it's no longer a knowledge gap, it's a who can utilize AI better